anything else, the Taliban is seeking for recognition all around the world. Although the countries all around the world didn't recognize Taliban right now, the Taliban is seeking the recognition of those countries, and during the talks that we had with them, together with our colleagues, regarding to the functionality of the new process in Afghanistan and the delivery of the humanitarian aids, they presented their requests, and we will give any sort of support whatsoever to the Afghan people, as long as the administration in the Afghanistan right now will be just for the sake of protecting the rights of Afghani individuals, as long as they have this just stance in the international relations, then, of course, we will give our best support, because at the end of the day, we have historical ties and friendship with the Afghani people. We cannot overlook to this fact.
Let's get some more analysis on this from Helin Sari Ertem, who's an assistant professor at Istanbul Medeniyet University. Helin, we just heard the Turkish president there put a big condition on supporting working with the Taliban in the future. And when last we heard from the Taliban this week, they said, okay, well, you know, we are responding to some of these countries' asks. But in what? What have we really seen the Taliban do to try to satisfy other countries before they help the Taliban?
Well, we see some basic conditions which are being put forward by the West and by Turkey as well. The most important one is about women's rights. And I think both West and Turkey as a regional country will force for that, will push for that, to see concrete steps for the protection of women's rights in Afghanistan. So the critical point here is also the education of the young girls in this country. And in the last 20 years, there have been many developments regarding the rights of the education rights of girls, and also for the women's rights. I think the West is trying hard not to see any step backwards in Afghanistan. This is the basic condition in front of Taliban. But regarding your question, I'm not sure what we have seen so far in Afghanistan in order to protect the rights of women and young girls. There are some symbolical steps, like opening of some schools and so on. Turkey is also pressing, for example, to reopen Marif Foundation schools in Afghanistan to protect the education rights of girls, especially because some of the schools that Turkey has opened in the past, I think 14 of them are schools for girls. So Turkey is also pushing hard to protect all these rights that have been already gained, already benefited by women and girls in this country. However, in my point of view, I think we should not talk about symbolical steps. We should be sure about the change of mentality in Taliban. And I think I have some suspicions regarding the change of ideology, change of thought on the Taliban side. At the moment, we have ISIS danger, ISIS as a rising threat in Afghanistan. I think this should not shadow the protection of women and girls' rights in this country, because Taliban will certainly use the threat of ISIS, the rising threat of ISIS, to persuade for the recognition of, to get the recognition of the West. And I think the West should be very careful about that, because it should not be in a point of choosing one of the evils. In my point of view, Taliban has much more to do to persuade West and Turkey regarding the protection of women and girls' rights.
We heard Turkish officials put these conditions, the same as we've heard from other countries in the West, on the Taliban. But Turkish officials also say, hey, we're different, we're not the West, we're ready to work with Afghanistan if they do these things. Can Turkey have more sway over the future of Afghanistan than Western nations can?
As Foreign Minister Çavuşoğlu has already mentioned, it's important to get in touch. It's important to have a diplomatic engagement with Taliban, as almost the whole world is now trying to do that. But at the same time, this doesn't mean recognition. There are lots of things that Taliban should do before being recognized internationally as an official state or official government in Afghanistan. And this is a temporary government we are talking about. They have to be much more comprehensive. Turkey is also underlining that they need a much more comprehensive government, which will include the other ethnical and sectarian parts of the country. We should be also careful about the rights of Turkic origin groups, ethnicities in Afghanistan, and they have been in close contact with Turkey in the last 20 years. But of course, at the moment, we see that Turkey is trying to improve the relations with Taliban, and this is diplomatically quite correct. But at the same time, Turkey is a strong country. It's a regional country that Taliban needs. At the moment, Taliban is underlining that it has three major partners, let's say, diplomatically. This is China, Turkey, and Qatar. And Turkey should use this position in order to protect the civil rights in Afghanistan. And Turkey should also continue to give international aid, humanitarian aid to Afghanistan. This will protect at least the daily life routines of women, girls, and other civil parts of the society. But at the same time, I think Turkey should use the position of being a significant regional country in order to persuade Taliban that it should take many more steps.
All right, Helin, good to talk to you.